Wonderful.
All right, everybody, welcome to Happy Crumpin' Wargaming. Today, we are lucky to have Mr. Cooper himself from the WOG Discord joining us for our Orcs tier list. We'll be going through all the individual units, and we are going to be talking about their merits, and we're ranking them on a ranking system from the bestest to the bigger to the big to the casual and the flash kids. That's the ranking systems that we've decided upon. Coop here is a super experienced orc player, and I'm super happy to have him along. But before I let him introduce himself, please, anyone who is watching this in post or anyone who is joining us today, if you wouldn't mind hopping on and liking, subscribing, and commenting for us, that is a super big help. I love doing these videos to help everyone get better at the game, and the orcs in particular, because the boys is the best. And it really helps when I get your comments and stuff. So, Mr. Cooper, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, good sir?
Yeah. So what's up, guys? Most of you who are active in Discord should probably know me. So I play a lot of orcs, and I've played orcs since should probably know me. Early 8th edition. Yeah, I haven't really touched too many other armies. Played Necrons a little bit. I've played a bunch of Votan lately, but I've always stuck to orcs because bestest.
Coop, I'm actually gonna have to stop streaming on Discord for you. So if you could pull up the stream on your YouTube, because it's taking too much bandwidth for me, and I screwed it up.
Fair enough.
Sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, right. So that's gonna improve the stream a bunch right there.
Wonderful. I'll just join. You get one more viewer.
Oh, right on. More viewers. We love it. All right, cool. So if you want to go ahead,
you should post the link in the lads content.
Ooh, we should post the link in the lads content. Let me just pull it up here. Actually, yep. So let me just go to my live post. Yep. Could you just go ahead and do that? Sorry. I'm not really sure where it is right now. Remember, I am a neophyte when it comes to streaming.
Sure. Let's see if we can find. Just going.
All right.
Yeah, here we go.
Nice. Cooper has that posted in the Discord, so anyone who's joining in, welcome. We appreciate all of your attendance. So we're getting started right off the bat. Mr. Cooper, what do you think we're going to say about the beast boss on the squiggosaur?
So I'm kind of torn between him. He's either S rank or A rank for me. I think it depends a lot on the kind of list you want to play.
Yep.
But so, I'm honestly gonna have to. I think I would start him off in S tier just because of how he's a beast. No puns intended. But if he hits you hard, and even if you build him like Killy, he will still be very hard to kill because of the built-in -1 to wound and toughness 7. You have a lot of options on how you want to build him: tanky or chaff clear or heavy hitter. His one weakness, I would say, is probably just not being able to buff non-beast snagga characters.
I could definitely see that. So I think here's my thoughts on it. All right, I am a Squig boss maxi. He is my eternal love, and he's my best friend in the world. So I'm going to go ahead and say that he's actually an A, and here's why. For me, the bestest, those are the units that will slot into any army no matter what. The A tier units are the units that are incredible depending on how you build them, right? And the Squig boss, I don't think he slots into any army. He slots into every single army I build for sure. But I don't know if he slots into absolutely every army. That's my thought process.
Yeah, I would agree. I have a hard time seeing him right now in Deffkills, for example. Goths, definitely.
Yeah, so for true orcs, he's doing wonderful. But for your wannabe blue gets, it is what it is.
But for the architecture, but even within Goths, some lists, if you want to go like they're knob heavy, and you don't want to bring a regular Warboss or something like a banner knob, then he's not really that good of an option.
Yeah,
Just
I'm with
because
you on that. I'm with you on that.
But yeah, definitely A tier to
All right,
start this
we're
one.
doing it. We're popping him in the A tier. My favorite build for this guy, by the way, and I'll do this one real fast. I'm a brutal but cunning maxi. I brutal but cunning him, and I B-side man him for that 5 at Feel No Pain. He kills like crazy, and he's hard to kill. Coop, what's your favorite build for him?
My personal is proper killy and mantle, just because he gets that AP -3,
Yep.
damage to is nice, and strength 8 on charge. Still really good, and he's gonna be tanky.
Mad respect. All right, moving on. We are at that Beast Boss on foot. What do we think?
I'm really torn about this guy.
The terror.
He's definitely gonna be more in the. My gut instinct is casual.
I'm 100% with you right there, and I hate saying it, but I completely agree. Why do you put him in casual?
The only reason he's not in flash kits is because he has access to the +2 damage to Titanics. That's honestly it.
Yep, I agree. I got to be honest with you, because he just doesn't do what the normal foot boss does. You can't give him to kill a claw. He's just. It's not that he himself is bad. It's just that he's so outshined by all of our other HQs. There's kind of no point in him.
That's going to be like the theme of this tier list a lot.
Yep.
It's not just in a vacuum, it's compared to all our options. And the amount of times you want to take a foot beast boss, it's not a lot.
Yeah, I think it's literally only in casual games.
I think I've seen it actually being an option, but that would be like in a very knight-heavy local meta. And yeah.
But speaking of knight-heavy local metas, bro, I swear I had a game where I took this beast boss on Squiggosaur and I charged him in, and I spent 2 CP to make him explode in 5s, and I spent 2 CP to give him +2 damage, and he was next to Ghazghkull thraka. He dealt 52 damage to a knight, to a big knight. It was the most glorious thing of all time.
Yeah, but then again, it's like, well, why take the foot boss if we can't take a squig boss?
Exactly. All right, man. I think we 100% in agreement. Yeah. All right, next on up, I think this is just our lowly mech. What do we think?
That is the KFF mech.
The KFF mech. Forgive me. What are we thinking here?
It's difficult, definitely. So the stratagem, we don't really have that many CP for it anymore.
Yep.
And it's still like a 5-up is still good. But the problem is, I can just deploy behind cover and hide. You don't need to an involve if you're not being shot.
You know what? I'm with you there. I 100% think that he's very meta dependent. And what does the terrain look like in your meta? Because if your terrain is like GW open terrain where you can't hide, maybe he's epic.
Yeah, I'm still putting him in casual, and that's mostly because of the CP cost. You're paying 85 points and 2 CP to have a 5-up involve once.
I'm not going to argue with on that one. I'm putting him in casual, and he's not nearly as cool looking as the Beast Boss, so he's behind the Beast Boss.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We've got the Shock Attack Gun, who was a darling, but how does he look in Arks of Omen?
Yeah, he's a flash kit. Sorry.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. People are going to hate hearing this, but he's useless. Anyone who takes him, it's literally because you love him and you're not playing competitively, or you are playing competitively and you're trying to lose.
I tried to actually make him. I didn't take him. I just theorized a lot about him in Deffkopters with being a sniper with opportunists, but it's just within 12 inches, and so random, and he's still expensive.
Man, I'm 100%. Wait, he's too. Yeah. How much does he cost right now? He's 85. Is that right? Or no, he's expensive. No, he's like a. Do you have it pulled up?
Yeah, so the Shock Attack Gun is currently at 110 points.
110, man. That's a fully decked unit of Stormboyz. He is a flash kit, my friends. He is a flash kit.
And then if you take the custom job, that's I think it's an additional 10 or 15.
Oh, stab me in the heart and make me choose a different army. Ugh.
And the only thing that does is take you from a D6 shots to 2D3, which sounds good, but it's really not, because it takes your average from 3.5 shots to 4 shots. So it's really
that you're still good. Hitting on 4s, normally on 5s. Maybe if you... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you're making the spread, like the extremes, lower. You're making it from so the lowest amount of shots would be 2, and you're making way more likely to have 3, but the average across games will not be that much, and it's still D6 damage, so it's just not consistent.
He's not good.
the strength being random.
He's not even like guaranteed to kill a light transport per game. So guys,
No.
don't take him unless you just love him. All right.
The problem is if you roll the double one on strength, and it's like, well, I can shoot strength 2 with AP -5.
So here we go, man. Are you ready for it? It is the biggest and the best. Where are we putting the Ghazghkull himself? Now, we might have a little disagreement about this one.
Yeah. So he's definitely not S tier.
Agreed.
So the question is A or B tier, and
then we might agree, actually.
It's one of them. It depends.
I'm dropping this boy into a solid B.
I would agree, and it's mostly because of how the meta is looking right now. You don't need 6 attacks that he has.
Right. With a warlord trait.
Yeah. Just the fact that you cannot take you don't have a sweep option, and that really hurts him for being locked down. Like, sure, he's gonna whop and kill 6 grots and then a few run, but he's gonna be locked in combat from chaff. And the double wog it's a really, really cool idea, but it just doesn't work out when we actually build the lists.
Now, I've seen him, and I will maintain, I think if you're playing for teams, he actually goes up to an A. There is a lot more play for him in team tournaments than it is in individuals, I would say.
And that would be purely just because if you're up against Tau or Votan or something that has pretty much just shooting.
Man, I think I told you about the Votan matchup I had. He ran into 2 land fortresses and slaughtered them both in a battle round. It was so beautiful. It would never happen outside of like teams because this matchup was just perfect. But it was so much fun. But yeah, I would say he's a solid B.
Yeah, he's just got too many matchups. He won't do enough work, and he also got like a sneak nerf with Arks of Omen. Because you used to take him to save CP, you took him in a Supreme Commander, and whoop, that refunded your battalion, and you can take a free Warboss, kind of. And now he doesn't give you a free Warboss slot because he's gonna take that one up.
It's so sad.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yep. Moving on, we have the Flashkit himself. Where do we think he's going, people? You know what? Let's not even have this discussion. I'm just dropping him. He's the worst character in the entire freaking game. Captain Badrukk, coolest model, crappy unit.
Yep.
He's so terrible. Just what is his special rule? He gives reroll 1s to Flashkits. Is that right?
I believe so. Yes. Let's see. I don't think I've ever played him in my life.
Why would you? Maybe you could come up with a meme freebooters list, which I would love to see freebooters good, but they're just not. Right now, the only ways you're playing orcs competitively is going to be Deffskulls or Goths.
Yeah. Let's see. It's reroll. Flash gets within 6 rerolls once to it. It's so bad.
He sucks. He's right in the bottom. All right, moving on to a character who is actually awesome. The only problem is he is locked to the wrong category. We have Mozzrog scragbad.
Yeah.
And when we talk about Mozzrog, he is a beast boss and squiggosaur with better strength, a better save because he got a 4-up invuln instead of a 5-up. And he has more mortal wounds from his squig. He does 4 mortal wounds with his squig instead of just 3. And he does have a chance to stand up after he dies. He's pretty awesome. Problem for me is this guy is locked to snake bites. And while I love snake bites and I want to run them, they're just so close to being good. They're just not good, though, because that transhuman effect, though, if you guys don't know, transhuman for snake bites only applies to squig units if the strength of the damage is 8 or is under 8, which is kind of useless because all your squig units are toughness 6 and 7. So it's basically useless.
So the transhumans, it's also just for every orc unit you have, and being toughness 5 on like everything,
it just doesn't help.
It just doesn't help, and the +1 to wound is it's a good try, but it doesn't work out because with Goths we hit a lot of these breakpoints where we get +1 to wound. So like squig hogs going from strength 7 to 8 on the charge, that will suddenly be +1 to wound against toughness 8, toughness 7, and toughness 4. It just hits so many breakpoints with Goths already that it's kind of a useless trait.
And it doesn't even apply to the biggest squig out there. It doesn't even apply to the kill rig for some ungodly reason. What I would like to see, how would you fix snake bites, by the way?
How I'd fix it?
Because here's my idea. I would change the mini transhuman, pseudo transhuman effect they get. I would turn it into making your squig units -1 to wound.
No, I would make it pure transhuman. Definitely.
The entire orc army getting forward. I can see that. But anyway, where is he?
I'd say casual.
He has to be, right? I think he's the top of casual because he actually is a good unit, but just since he's lots of snake bites, he's got to be casual.
Yeah. You used to be able to do a trick before with a patrol detachment and some Warboss gets, but well, Arks of Omen, no.
Yeah. All right, now we're going on to Boss Snikrot. Boss Snikrot is an awesome character. Unfortunately, our Blood X supplement disappeared, so now he is...
I
don't even know if he makes casual, to be honest with you.
I'd say he does.
Do you?
Yeah, he's still got +1 to wound while being in cover, and his trait is brutal but cunning.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So he still hits like really, really hard. I think it's AP. Yeah, AP -2 and damage 2.
Mm-hmm.
But on a WOG, he still has. And then also it's not a Warboss keyword. It's like
that's true. The no Warboss keyword is huge because that opens you up to still having your 2 Warbosses. I like.
Yes,
that's true. I wasn't even thinking about that.
So it was even better before with the supplements because the blood axis and you had you count as not charging me. And
nasty.
And 7 attacks at strength 6 +1 to wound AP -2 and damage 2. Brutal but cunning. That actually hurts.
Oh, brutal but cunning is my favorite thing in existence.
Oh yeah.
But moving on to a character who is not casual. I'm not even going to ask you. This guy's going straight to the top. Literally, the only problem with Boss Zagstruk is he's Goths exclusive. And that is really not much of a problem because this guy, let me tell you about this guy. He single-handedly makes grown men cry. 18-inch movement on the wall, smacks like a freaking truck. 7 attacks on when he's in the wall, exploding on 6s. It's going to be strength 10 when he charges. AP 3, 2 damage. This king is a nightmare for solo characters or MSU units.
Definitely. He's basically the orc sniper. Funny enough.
If you want a sniper, get rid of your shock attack gun and grab Boss Zagstruk.
Yeah, we snipe in melee. He's just amazing for this, and
he's shockingly annoyingly to kill too, right?
Yes, when you have the WOG involved, so send him up when you call the WOG. It's just a 5-up involve. It's a 4-up armor save, but 5-up involve, toughness 6, and 5-up feel of pain. I've had him tank an entire tower shooting phase. And survive with 1 wound.
That is such a headache.
Yeah, I think it was a tournament. I had game 1 on conversion. I got turn 1 and I call a WOG. I sent up like 10 Stormboyz and Zag into his deployment zone to mess some things up. And I had my Ghazghkull. This was back in Nephilim, up in the middle to kill some stealth suits. So I think killed the Firewars and I got stuck in with a few things there. During his turn, the Stormboyz were gone, and zagstruk was still standing with a single wound after it. And I made it's just rolling the 5s into 5s. It's amazing.
I'll have you know that today, for the very first time in history, I actually hit something with his rockets, and I blew up the Leviathan Dreadnought with it. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Then forget his rockets. Being assault D3, you can advance 5 of them, hit on 6s. It's still strength 6 -1 damage D3.
You can do it.
It's actually pretty good.
All right. We've got the Painboss. Painboss, what do you think about this guy?
He's so close to being really, really good and wanting
to
take him.
So close. I'm going to say he's actually a B because he is usable. I'm not using him right now, but that's my thoughts. What are you thinking?
So let's look at what he's got. He's got
let's look at what he's got.
It's decent. 4 attacks, pretty decent as well. He's got both a snagga claw and a power snapper, so he's got some options.
Sure.
To either have the -1 to hit and hit a little harder, or the hit on regular and hit a little softer. So he's very good in that way. He's more versatile than Gaz with attacks, honestly. And he's fast. He's movement 7.
I wish you could get him the Killer Claw, man. If you could get him the Killer Claw,
yes,
that boy would be gamed.
Yes, I would take him, definitely. And then again, he can only his aura is still clan infantry and clan cavalry, so
Sure.
that's not snakebite locks. And the heal, it's snakebite locks, but not snakebites, beast snagga. But you don't really care about the heal. It's the funeral pain.
I got to be honest with you. I do love the concept of using them to follow your beast boss and heal your beast boss.
Yeah, but that's where it's a problem. If you roll the 1, you got the mortal on yourself.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's a good point.
It's so weird. We have so many things in your codex, like, oh, on a 2+ this happens. Why can't it just be an ability like every other codex?
So here's my thought. Let's leave him in B for now. We might have to bump him down to C, but I actually see that he has actual utility.
I'll agree he's a B, and that's just because of his movement.
Yeah, he's fast, and that's really good. That's something orcs need. All right, moving on to a guy who I think we won't disagree on. We got the orc Warboss in the mega armor with that huge chopper. Tell me about this guy, Coop.
This guy's amazing. The only big HQ outside of Gauss with a 2-up armor save, and you can give him the crushing armor for 1-up armor save. The only 1-up armor save we have in the entire codex. It's good.
It's good, baby. He's a custodian orc.
Yeah, and if you forget him, forget to give him lookout, sir, you can just put him in the ruin, and if they shoot, whoop, I got a 0-up armor save.
Chances are high he'll be what, -1 to wound?
Yeah, the artist nail word trade is pretty good, and that's being tier 6. He's still 7 wounds.
Yeah,
and he doesn't really need his big shoot is just bonus, but the weapon, it's good. Like AP -3, damage 2, and strength 9 base. That's good.
Now, we played a game last night, right? And I really enjoyed him in the Deffkopters. I thought he was actually even better in the Deffkopters than he would be in Goths. I think he benefited more in Deffkopters, because since he is so hard to kill, it's easy to kind of keep him alive and get him to steal that objective with that obstac, right?
Definitely. And also he gets a final pain versus mortals in Deffkopters, but just the obstac on him. Yeah, I would say S tier, because he also fits both Goths and
easy to slot him in, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm going to put him up there. Now, trust me, guys, the Beast Boss on Squiggosaur is my favorite in the entire game. He's my favorite freaking model of the game. But the Warboss, he can slot in a little more easily, so I'm 100% with you, man. Let's throw him in S. Moving on to a guy who we're both going to agree goes into the S, is possibly the single best value character in the entire game right now.
Yeah, the Warboss is just... that's S tier as well. Same reason, but he hits harder. He's like the reverse Meganobz. He's a little easier to kill, but hits way harder.
And so what we do, this guy, he's got the attack squig. And so if you guys don't know how Brutal But Cunning works, for every single attack that doesn't hit the deal damage step, you get to make that attack again with his Kill a Claw, which you're going to give him. So you're going to give him the Kill a Claw, and you're going to give him Brutal But Cunning. And he's 5 attacks base, which goes to 6 on the Wa turn. So let's say you're a Goths, and you roll 1, 6, and 1, 1. Well, that 1 that you rolled goes back into the pile to go in again, and your explosion goes into the same pile. So you're still hit 6 times, and you get a bonus 7th attack because of that missed one. Then you're going to wound him, 5 times, maybe 3 times. So those 2 will also go back to the pile. Let's say the guy's got a 4-up invuln, he's going to save 2 times. That means you're still going to get 6 damage on the person, and you're going to get to make another 4 attacks. Then he has his 2 attack squig attacks. Hopefully, neither of which wound, which gives you an extra 2 attacks with your Kill a Claw. This guy can be putting out 15 to 21-ish damage every single turn, no problem.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And
he fights on death.
Yeah, for CP. But the attack squig, oh boy, it's so easy to abuse.
5-point upgrade.
Yeah, the best thing is it's even a strength 4, so strength 5 with Goths. It's very easy to not wound, and very easy for them to save with it.
Now, I will tell everyone a real trick here, because there is kind of a way to get around that. Because a lot of times, maybe he's hitting into your characters that have a 4-up invuln or something, and no armor save. Well, you actually can choose to take a save on your armor save if your invuln is better. So let's say those attack squigs come out, and you're a character with a 6-up armor, 4-up invuln. You can choose to take those attack squigs on your 6-up armor to take the 1 damage, so he doesn't get to recycle those as a Kill a Claw attack.
Yeah.
That is a good way to go against him. Just thought I'd mention that out there. But this dude's a monster, and we love him.
What you can do is what I've heard a few people say. It's like, I'll choose not to make the save roll and just take the damage. No, you can't do that. That's playing for advantage. because it's pretty obvious. It's not about saving time at that point. It's just I don't want that killer call attack, and that's just gaming for advantage.
But you can take it on an armor save so that the AP goes straight through. That's for sure.
Definitely.
All right, so then we got the Warboss, and I'm just going to throw him in flash kits because he's useless, because you can also have the Warboss with attack squig, so there's no point.
He's going to be behind Zagstruk. Just behind Zagstruk, I think.
So we'll switch that. Cool. So then it looks like we got a Weirdboy on up.
Yeah, so this guy, he's versatile.
Love him.
He's good.
He's an A for me, personally.
Yeah, I will agree. And the main problem with the Weirdboy is, funnily, his strength being a psyker. Because I'm of the opinion right now, you don't take a single Weirdboy and a single kill rig, which we'll get to later. You will take both of them.
Yeah.
Because what he gives in value with his psych powers is not alone worth what you're giving up with a boar versus things like Thousand Suns and Grey Knights. Now those are beatable matchups, and Grey Knights is probably harder without the boar. But he has 3 powers, which actually gives you value. It's the jump, being able to reposition. This is great for green type.
Oh, yeah.
It's great for behind enemy lines. It's great for a 50-50 charge with core unit. Then he's got the ability to buff up a character with extra attacks, 2 or 3, depending on how well.
I'm going to disappear from the screen for a second. Just keep talking.
Sure, and that's great if you stack that with brutal but cunning characters as well. And then you have the war pop ability, and that's on one clan. So not Boyz. I've seen a few people try that, but it's going to be a clan. With infantry units. It should be infantry units still, yeah, not core or anything.
So I run him, and the kill rig together, just like you said. I refer to this guy as the ultimate plan B. Because when my rig dies too soon, or my battle wagon dies too soon, and I have to get my unit up the field somehow, the jump is there for me. When I'm done getting the good bits, and I need to finish off my behind enemy lines, he's the one who gets my Gretchin to teleport in for behind enemy lines. He is not the jump is not should never be a primary plan, because it's a 7. So what is that, like a 50% chance of casting it, or maybe slightly better?
It's about 58%, yeah.
And so a lot of people make mistakes with this guy because they think, oh, well, I'm just going to jump all the time. No, he is a backup plan, and he's an epic backup plan, but he is a backup plan. So I think we're cool with that guy going in the A slot.
Yeah. I double-checked with Warpuff, it's clan, core, or clan character, but still giving 1 extra attack per model in that unit, and it's within 18 inches without line of sight.
Huge. And 18 inches is really long range. So I mean, you can advance your Stormboyz up the field to surround someone and still cast Warpath on them. That is epic.
Yeah. I do think he lost some value. He would be in S tier if they didn't nerf Psych Interrogation, in my opinion. Because I would take him with Cyborg Body and do Psych Interrogation. It's great on things like things that have a 6-up armor. Suddenly, I have 4-up involve and half damage.
Sure. Another guy who's going straight to the bestest, though. What about this guy? This is a joke, people. Mozzrog is never going into the bestest. He is terrible.
I would put him in casual.
I'll throw him in casual because he's so terrible. He's not even worth me arguing about him.
The problem is, he's decent. He's doing 4 attacks with strength. What's his strike? Strength 7, 8 on Wog, and then -3 and damage 2. Still good hits, but yeah, it's just
he just doesn't do anything.
His fight last thing is on a monster on a 2+ within 6 inches. It's just so.
It's never gonna happen. Like.
Now, monster's not prevalent. It was monster vehicle, maybe.
Yeah.
Or
it's
character, maybe.
Those 65 points can be spent to much better use elsewhere. It's not that he himself actually is that garbage. It's just you don't need him.
If his super runs ability was changed to Gretchin units rather than Gretchin core, because that's only Gretchin.
But you can put it on the cons.
Yeah. I would have because cans hit, they shoot and melee on.
We'll get to cons. We'll get to cons. We'll get to
Yeah.
all right, so we're gonna move on to our Beast Snagga boys now. I love the Beast Snagga boys. I'm gonna vote for an A with these guys.
I'll agree. Yeah, sounds
And
right.
the reason why I'm voting for an A for them is because you have another option as well, and neither one is objectively better, but they're both great. They're both going to slot into essentially every single army. Beast Snaggers are awesome. They are the only troops that we can put inside our kill rigs. They always have that 6-up invuln. They're an extra strength over your orc boys. And for Goths, they're probably going to be your only obsec in your entire army.
What do you mean obsec? Yeah.
So so I love Beast Snaggers. They hit hard. They're pretty tough. They slaughter monsters and vehicles with that +1 to hit. I think they're just a super solid A troop choice.
Yeah, I will agree on that. And you can even take them in wagons. On the Goths, they charge with spread of 7, which is actually nuts versus Armingers and Warhounds. Those are War Dogs.
Or Hellbrutes now that World Eaters are a thing. Trust me, those things are nightmares.
Oh yeah, World Eaters I do not look forward to.
I just posted a video on them. It should actually be on the YouTube here about a game with a buddy of mine, and we won, but holy crap, they're going to be a headache. But yeah, so Beast Snaggers have a lot of utility, and I love them a lot. Then we're moving on to the smallest gits in the entire army. And Cooper, where do the smallest gits in the entire army go?
Oh, they're the bestest.
Are they the biggest and the best? I think they are. I'm 100% with you on that.
The top left corner.
Yeah, you know, that's true. They're way better than any of these characters. So, yep.
You take grotsnik every single list, and they never
3 units.
It's 40 points for 10 models. Never take more than 10 models, even if you are in this. I've been in this really weird spot where I'm like 1996 points.
Yeah.
And I have 4 points left. And I'm not going to take another grots. You don't want to give away the blast.
Correct.
But the get the good bits was so buffed. I don't know why they buffed it. I thought it was going to get nerfed. And that kind of drew me back to orcs from Votan currently. But yeah, grots, you take 3 units in every army. 4 if you want to, but at least 3.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I think at least 3 for sure. If they are killing your grots, that's awesome because they're putting real resources into killing a 40-point unit. If they're not killing your grots, that's awesome. That's awesome because your 40-point unit's going to score you 15 victory points.
I can't even tell you how many times I've had one grot survive. Like when you wog and they get 5-up invul.
They're actually annoying to kill.
Yeah. People always like, wasted life.
And don't forget, these guys also get an additional armor when they're in cover. So when they're in cover and your guard mortars are shooting at them, they do actually have a 4-up armor save.
No, 5-up.
Well, they get the light cover, and then they get +1 armor for being in cover, and then they get +1 armor for being out of line of sight, is what I'm saying.
All right, line of sight thing, yeah.
Yeah. So your 4-up armor save grots.
They are nuts. And yeah, no, top. They're going to be the bestest for the entire tier list, and nothing's going to change that.
Yeah, they're amazing. We love them. We love them. All right, cool. Moving on, we have the Boyz, and I'm throwing the Boyz right next to the Beast Snaggers because I don't think they're better. I don't think they're worse. I think they're basically the exact same thing. They just have a slightly different purposes. What do you think?
I would put them A tier for sure, but just in front of just a little better than Beast Snaggers, and that's just for one reason only, and that's you can make them truck boys.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I can see with that because I actually love my truck boys. So 100%. Yep. You just couldn't convince me. That was a good idea. That was a good call.
Because if you're playing Goths, you have either no OPSEC or only 1 unit of Boyz. Me, I have 0 OPSEC with my Goth list right now. And being able to have, if you want that Boyz in a truck with OPSEC, that during a walk turn moves 20 plus D6 inches, then charges, that's going to get OPSEC wherever you need it to deny some VP.
And actually, this is one thing I find myself debating in my Goth list, because sometimes I like to play, instead of bringing my Zag, I actually will run the Boyz with the truck sometimes. And I'm actually a little undecided on how I like it yet. Right now I'm using Zag in the Polish league online, and but I'm in the other league I'm in right now. I'm using Boyz in a truck because they kind of serve similar-ish purposes to me, and I like having that extra unit of obsec and goths. It's entirely possible I might just reorganize and take both, but we'll see for right now. But yeah, those Warboss with truck, they're so fast, so good.
Yeah, it's an option. I would not take more Boyz. If you take Boyz, it's one unit and it's gonna be truck Boyz.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. Then what are these guys? These are
Burnaboyz.
Burnaboyz. There they are. Where are we thinking our Burnaboyz go?
I like him. I like him a lot. I've been using them a bit, and in my opinion, they're a defensive and reactive tool. You put them in reserve. You have like either an 8-man, which would be 7 burners and a spanner, or 10-man. And even if you're doing Deffkopters, that could be 3 spanners and 7 burners,
Sure.
and you abuse the custom Mega Blaster.
Yeah.
But they are so... The Strength 4 Flamer with 0 AP looks bad at first sight, but then you realize, well, if they behind enemy lines, or just you need to clear some chaff for your charges, that's very good. Versus things like the conscripts of guard or just the infantry squads being T3 5-up.
Sure. I've been using these guys similarly to what you were just saying. They are actually my backline defense. So right now I'm running one of these and a unit of cons, and I used to have to take my cons in half the games and use them to kill my enemy who deep strikes into my backlines. Now I use my Burnaboyz just to walk into combat and eat like whatever Overwatch, and then they'll just they just flame. So I like them a lot. I'm gonna say B for them.
I would say low A tier.
You'd say low A tier. I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's put them in front of Gaz, and we could revisit later because as it is, they I think it's really easy to use them, but there's a bunch of other units that also do their job. That's my argument.
The reason I would say A tier otherwise is just you can get the AP -2 in melee.
In melee, yeah, they could do a little bit with their 2 attacks in melee. I'll tell you what. Revisit me on this one, okay?
Yeah.
I don't think this one deserves a wah off to determine who's best yet. But by the way, guys, if we're gonna disagree, the way that we will settle this is whoever has the better wah. But we'll warn you before we do it. But I don't think this deserves a wah off. I think this is just we'll revisit it in a little bit.
It's either high B or low A. It's kind of the same.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then we have our Mandos. What do you think about Mandos, my friend?
It's S tier. You don't make a list without them.
No problem. S tier, all the way on up there. I'm actually even going to drop these in front of a bunch of our characters.
Yeah, I would put them just behind zagstruk probably.
Yep, I'm with you. There's a couple different ways to run these guys. You can run them in the big 10-man brick with a bomb squig and a breacher ram, and then they hit like a ton of bricks in melee. Yeah. But you can also run them the way I prefer to run them in like 2 units of 5-mans. And 2 units of 5-mans can essentially screen the entire no man's zone. So you can move block the crap out of your enemy with them. And so if you get first turn, you can either charge in to kill some MSU screens, or you can just advance them up an inch away from their lines so that in their movement phase, they can't get out of the deployment zone. They're such great utility.
They are so versatile. Just either you go for a really killer 10-man, where you have a bunch of damage to high strength and a bunch of chef clearing choppas, and you have a free up in light cover, but just standing in cover.
Yeah.
And on top of that, +1 to wound while within 1 inch of terrain. They just do so many jobs, and they are our one scout deployer or infiltrate, which is so useful to deny pre-game moves. World Eaters.
I love them so much. They save the game against those World Eaters. If we didn't have Kommandos, we would lose every matchup to World Eaters instantaneously.
I would say Votan as well.
I can see that too. Yeah, those bite.
They play a lot of pioneers, and you okay. So you see, there's a lot of 6-man pioneers there. You wait with the Kommandos in that case. If they don't have infiltrate deploy, you wait with the Kommandos to react.
Yeah.
But you just now they can't pre-game move forward in case he goes first.
Beautiful.
Those things, if Votan goes first, those things go 24 inches, 12-inch pre-game move, 12-inch fly.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, they're great. Yeah.
So they're the bestest. Then it looks like we got, what is this, Mad Doc right here?
Yeah, grotsnik.
He's awesome. In the lore, he's one of the coolest characters ever. Sadly, he's, for me, I'm thinking he's casual.
I say flash get.
You say flash get? Oh.
Yeah, because of his ability. You can't. No, you can't decide if you want to charge him or not. If he can charge, he will
Must
charge.
That actually is very frustrating. Cool. I'll do it. I'm putting him in front of the shock attack gun though, because he is the coolest. He has some awesome lore behind him.
Yeah.
Then we move on to, looks like we got some Meganobz here.
Oh boy, they fell from grace.
The fall from grace. They were amazing in Nephilim, and now they are, man,
they're good.
They're okay. So I think I think we're gonna have to put them in B because they're not bad. They're just so outclassed by the units that do their job better.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they can go any higher than B, but I don't think they go in casual either because they are actually still pretty decent.
Oh, they are. They hit good.
They hit
it's
great.
Just that other options, Nobz. And
yeah,
it's always been Meganobz or Nobz. One is usually the more clear option in every meta, but top of B tier definitely.
Yep, I put them in B without any problems. All right, we got a Nob with waaghbanner. This guy will add +1 to hit to literally freaking everything in your army and melee, including your killicons, which we will get to.
This is a straight up 8 here.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you don't need him in some armies, but if you want him, he's always freaking useful.
Yeah, he's gonna be for me between the squiggosaur and Weirdboy. Just
even further, even ahead of our troops.
Yeah, because it's just you can buff everything.
I'm gonna drop him behind the Weirdboy, but I will put him in front of the troops for a compromise.
Yeah.
All right. Because he is awesome. I actually run him in Goths. I know some people don't think you should, but Power Claws hitting on 3s with exploding 6s is pretty freaking nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much if you run the Squigboss or Warboss. You need a +1 aura if you have Power Claws, but somewhere.
If you're running Warboss and Goths and you have this guy, your Nobz are going to be hitting with like 40 freaking Power Claws, exploding on 6s, hitting on 2s, and it's just ludicrous.
Yeah, it's a bit too overkill, yeah.
Speaking of the Nobz,
oh boy,
these boys are the darlings of Arks of Omen. Yes. Oh my gosh. Cooper, can you please tell us what you get for 17 points a model in a Nob?
So,
this guy.
This is a glass model. Glass cannon, just 2 wounds, T5, which is nice, and a 4-up armor save. But, the offensive.
Oh my gosh,
it's free attacks. And you can take either a big shoppa for free, which means that's strength 7 without any buffs, and -1 and damage 2. Or you take the Power Claws, who hit on -1, but you gain strength 10 base with -3 and damage 2. And these are so the Power Claws are 22 points a model, but and then by the second hand you give him a free choppa, so that's an additional choppa like a Misericordia for Custodes. But these guys hit hard, and this is why the Nobz have fallen from grace. I did a bunch of math on the comparison, and when you even without the Meganobz damage free stratagem, with the damage free, Meganobz were like 0.5 points per attack better versus Dark Angel Terminators. It's just they have to spend 2 CP to even compete with the Nobz. The Nobz just ouch.
And the Nobz are 8 points cheaper a model. And Orcs right now, guys, it's more bodies is more better.
Yes.
It's
quantity over quality for sure.
And Nobz get you the quality and the quantity, which is why they're so freaking amazing.
And I run I think it's 28 Nobz in my list. And it's a lot, and 10 of them are with big choppas, and the rest is Power Claws. But those 10 of big choppas, I'm making them truck boys every game.
And I think you'll see that, right? So like if you're running Death Skulls, you need a unit of truck Nobz, right?
Oh no, I'm doing in both.
Oh, you're doing the truck Nobz in Goths. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's just that threat range and suddenly having those in your backline, because that's 10 of them come out of truck.
Still 30 big choppa attacks and 10 normal choppa attacks.
40 big choppa.
Oh well, yeah, because you're going to be in Dwarf, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a total of 50 attacks.
That's true, man.
They hit hard, and they move with the truck 20 plus D6 inches, then charges. Yeah, they're getting where I want them to be.
Now, for me, I personally like to run, say you're going to have 10-man squad, I like 5 Power Claws and 5 Big Choppas, and I like to run 2 units of them. And my reasoning behind this is because there's literally nothing, literally it's not true, but there's practically nothing in the game that won't die to 20 power claw attack, 25 power claw attacks, or 20 power claw attacks plus 5 if you get Warpath on them, and 20 big choppa attacks, and then an additional 10 choppa attacks. It's exploding on 6s and goths. There's literally nothing that won't die for that profile anyway, but it does give you the flexibility to switch in between the two attacks. So I like 5 and 5 splits. I know Cooper just said he likes pure power claws or pure big choppas. But I think either way, you're not wrong because you're taking the best unit.
It's more, in the game. It's more, do you want the utility of being able to send a unit everywhere, or if you're doing the way I like, having pure power claw, pure big choppa, then you have to be prepared to anticipate and really dedicate. I need this unit in this position.
Right. All right, guys. I think we did enough about Nobz. So let's move on. We love Nobz. We have the lowly mech. This guy was incredible if you were running Ghazghkull thraka, but he's not anymore because there's a better option. Yeah. So I'm just going to throw him down into the casual.
Flash.
Yeah, flash. I'll put a flash, guys. That's fine. Yeah, there's just no point in him anymore.
He had 1 point, and then it just got poofed away.
And it's just gone. Yep, I agree with you. And we'll get to what that point was, guys. I promise. We won't leave you hanging. Now we have the Painboy. This guy is actually pretty cool.
He's got some tech, yeah.
This guy can do a couple different things. One, he gives a 6-up Feel No Pain to all his green-skinned friends within, 3 inches of him?
It is, within 3 inches to clan infantry and clan biker.
Which is cute. I mean, it's not game-changer or anything, but it's cute. He did get a points drop in Arks of Omen, so he's only 60 points now. But what people forget about this guy is he can actually operate as a mini Warboss, because you can give him the Kill a Claw and Brutal But Cunning. So assuming that you don't have slots for your Warboss or you're trying to save points or somewhere, you can actually make this guy extremely killy.
Yeah, and he's also got the Earthy Syringe, which is a mini attack squig. It's 1 attack on strength 2, AP 0, damage 1.
So, like, you know what? I mean, he actually can make up for if you were hurting for points and you couldn't take that extra killy Warboss, you could throw it on this guy, and he's a budget super killy Death Star by himself.
Yeah. I would put him above Gas. I would put him top of B because he has that tech.
You heretic.
Yeah.
He cannot go in front of Ghazghkull thraka. Ghazghkull Mecha thraka is the biggest and the best.
But I haven't mapped it yet, but I think the Painboy would actually kill more things consistently.
Well, I'm gonna leave him right there. What do we have here? These look like Truck Boys. What do you think about Truck Boys?
Tankbustas, no?
Tankbustas, that's what I meant, not Truck Boys, sorry.
Yeah. I'm torn.
Okay.
I love and hate them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some people talk about having the 5 mans in reserve. I know I played a lot of Tankbustas back in Nephilim, I think, with the tank hammer.
Sure.
So they do a ton of mortals, and mortals are amazing. Here's the problem. We don't have as many elite slots nowadays. Because we used to have 8 elite slots, and now we have 6.
Yep.
And this hurts. And I tried during late Nephilim to bring them back with the mortals. And what I found out is they're not consistent enough. The shooting is all right, but nothing amazing. But the tank hammer and the squig ones, it's especially the tank hammer D6 mortals, it's just not consistent enough to take them, in my opinion.
I think if you're gonna take them, it needs to be Death Skulls, because they're kind of useless in Goths.
Yeah, you just hit hard anyways.
Yeah, so it needs to be in Death Skulls, and they're very army dependent. Like, if you're going into Knights, they actually can be fantastic.
They can, yeah.
But others, not so much. So I would put them at the bottom of B, personally, because they're definitely still usable, and they have value.
Yeah, bottom of B sounds right, yeah.
Cool. All right, we're starting with some more fast attack things now, guys. This is where we're gonna need a little help. What is this? Is a boosta-blasta this first one? Is that right? Or is that a custom boosta-blasta?
No, that's God,
I love the orcs. I love the orcs so much.
Yeah, no, that's a boosta-blasta.
That's the boosta-blasta. All right. You've got the Wahapedia pulled up, or the Codex pulled up. Sorry, GW. We're totally using the Codex right now.
Yeah. Totally legal.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's got a big shooter. He's got a boosta-blasta and some burn bottle grenades. Then he's got a max special, which is Daka 1410, stern 5, -2, damage 2.
It's so cool sounding.
It is, and then it's bad.
It's so cool sounding, but then when you do the math on it, it's like, oh, it sucks.
Yeah, it's not their damage, and without any particular good buffs for it. And compared to other option, this is a casual option for sure.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. It was reasonable back in the day, maybe, but not anymore. That's for sure. The game is way too killy. It just doesn't hold up. This we have. Oh, we missed one of the war bosses. We have a war boss on Deffkilla wartrike.
Yeah. So this guy, I'm thinking of experimenting with him.
Okay.
Because he's interesting in Goths when you give him proper killy.
All right.
Because his weapon has built-in reroll wounds.
Oh, that's true. Actually, yeah. I do actually have my Orc Codex here, GWC. This is an Orc Codex. You can see it on camera now.
Now, my problem with him is he's a speed boss, and I like the bike boss.
Oh, the bike boss. Oh, man, did I forget to put the bike boss in here?
Oh,
yeah, he's not even on this list.
We'll fix that.
Darn it.
A bike boss is S tier.
Yeah. I'm going to put the Deffkilla wartrike there, and I'll find the bike boss, and I'll edit it in here. But for right now, we'll just call the Deffkilla wartrike the bike boss.
Yeah, but the wartrike...
I'm actually going to argue that he goes in A tier, to be honest with you, though, because kind of like the beast boss on Squiggosaur, he's awesome and he's incredible, but he's not necessary.
I was about to say A tier as well.
Okay.
Because his advanced, this is what people might sleep on, 14-inch movement, and then once per game, he auto-advances 9.
So fast. So fast.
So that's 23 inches of movement. He's got a big base, which is hard to maneuver, but he just needs proper killy. I know some have said brutal cunning. I would just take proper killy on him, and man, he can hit. And that would be, you can have 2 war bosses, and that would be, problem is you can't take a speed boss with him, because if you have bike boss and Deffkilla wartrike, you have a speed wagon. You don't want that right now.
No.
But if you take a war boss and a Deffkilla wartrike,
or a beast boss.
Honestly, I'm thinking I'm gonna try this, and that's gonna be a squig boss.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a Deffkilla wartrike, and then it's gonna be a Painboy with the brutal cunning and killer.
Love it.
And that's all. And that's all CP spent. That's starting on 0 CP, but each of them gets the maximum trait value.
Sure.
And I'm actually gonna try this. I have a tournament in 2 weeks, and I'm gonna try this tech because
love it. I love hearing that.
Helps the Painboy actually does a little value.
Yeah.
And and I want to use the model again. Holy.
Yes. Right, so I'm gonna bring up the Deffkopters now, and this one breaks my heart because I love the Deffkopters so freaking much. I think they're so cool. They're just too dang expensive.
My problem is just I have other units that do the job better.
They're 50 points a model. You drop them to 40 points, we can have a real discussion. As it is, they have to be casual.
I'd say bottom of B, honestly.
You put them bottom of B.
You can still deep strike them for free, and you can come in and do ramming speed, and with gloves, they have a lot of attacks, actually. So each attack a Deffkopter makes is 3 attacks. So they have 2 base and 3 in Wog, so that would be 9, strength 5, -1, damage 1 in Goths with exploding 6s.
And I will be honest with you. So I actually took these guys to an RTT where I was running Gaz. And I got to be honest with you. I wasn't running. Yeah, I was running Gaz there. Yeah. So I got them to that AP3 with their rocket launches. They actually did some pretty decent work.
They can. The rockets are not too bad, but the melee. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. It's the fact that they could follow it up. And you can even ram and speed them if you need to.
It's strength 6, actually, in Goths.
Strength 6, yes, sir. Strength 6, so, AP1, damage 1, or 9 attacks, exploding 6s.
So 3 of them deep strikes in. They score you behind them lines. They shoot. Then you. So that's 63 shots of rockets. And then you use ramming speed to get into melee like 80% of the time. And then in melee, those 3 models will give you 27 attacks, hitting on plus exploding 6s, strength 6, -1, damage 1, which is amazing. But we have other units with that profile.
If we could get these guys dropped from 50 to 40 points, man, I think it'd be easy to slot those into any army.
Yeah,
As it is, yeah.
And they also compete with the fast attack slot, which is so competitive right now.
It really, really is, because you really want the 6 elites. There is a good argument for some armies having the 6 fast attacks.
That would be squighogs.
Yeah, that would be armies that are going squighogs, which is one thing I'm really experimenting a lot with now. But we just don't really have the slots for them, and they're just too expensive to compete with the slots. So yeah, I'm with you. They're at the bottom of B.
Yeah. So we'll be moving on to the Kustom boosta-blasta.
Custom boosta-blasta. The Custom boosta-blasta. What does this guy do for me?
This is the flamer buggy. So he has
yes, it is.
4 flamers at 8 inches range,
which is stupid.
Yeah, they have a rivet cannon of DACA 9/6 with strength 7 -2 for 2.
Cool.
It's the same next to the boom DACA snubwagon.
It's the same thing, right? I mean, it's such a cool concept, but it just doesn't work. It has
cheap.
It's got the spiked ram, so it can do some mortals when it charges in.
They are cheap, 80 points a model. However, it's fast attack again.
And if you were gonna take one of these buggies that's kind of okay at shooting and good melee, you're gonna take the next one.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Which is the Megatrakk scrapjet, which everyone freaking loves because it's amazing. It's so cool. It still doesn't quite make it to the competitive level of play, but you can argue for it, and being able to argue for it is quite cool. I'm going to take the Megatrakk because I love this guy, so I'm going to talk about it if that's okay.
Sure.
All right, so this guy has a rocket cannon, which is a heavy 3d3 shots. That's blast, by the way. Heavy 3d3. So one guy is shooting a crap ton of rockets to you, and those are all going to be strength 8, AP2, damage 3. Then he's got 2 twin big shooters, count them, 2 twin big shooters, which is going to be 10 shots if you're within 18 inches, or 6 shots if you're within 36. Strength 5, AP 0, damage 1. He actually has a grot. So the grot gunner, you get to select one of those twin shooters and give a +1 to hit. So we'll actually be hitting on 4s with one of those. He's actually really good at clearing screens, so like Fruit Hounds, for example, which is a big problem. And then lastly, he's got wing missiles, which will be an extra missile that is going to be, strength 8, AP2, damage 3, and it's +1 to hit against vehicles.
Yeah.
He has a lot of shooting, and when he charges you, he's got the nose drill, which makes him +2 strength, +2 or -2 AP, and D3 damage. But he's got that spiked ram, which gives you on a 4-up D3 mortal wounds. So I mean, you can stack this with your Raymond speed for potential of 2d3 mortal wounds when he charges in. This guy actually can have some play. The problem is he's massive, and it's really hard to maneuver him, and he's fast attack.
I think something we experimented with earlier in early Nephilim or Nakmund was having 3 of these in a unit in D-Strike.
Sure. Yeah.
And coming with ramming speed. And we have better options for that now as well. I have 3 scrapjets, and I love them. They were my first buggy I bought, and they're cool, but I can't take them right now. I just can't.
Man, they are so cool. They're just not making it. I am going to put them in front of the other buggies in casual play, though.
I would actually put them very bottom of B.
I don't know if I can.
I think they have play. I think just that deep strike, free reserve with ramming speed. It's still a lot of DACA.
I'm going to join you because spiritually I want to join you on this.
I think it's just the very, very bottom of B. It's just the same concept as the the Deffkopters.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. All right. Now we're moving on to something that is not controversial at all for being in the B tier. And I think we have the Squiggosaur.
No, these are the Smash-Nobz.
Oh, that is the Smash-Nob, right? And Squiggosaur will come next.
Yeah.
Some jerk who is organizing this, me, may have organized it slightly wrong. Anyway, the Snob on Smash a Squig. This dude, for me, is a solid A choice. He's awesome. He's got good utility. He doesn't need to be in every single list.
No, definitely. And the mortals are great. I think the test game you and me did yesterday in preparation for another game, the charge again is good.
So cool, man. If you ever get to utilize, if you guys don't know, when he charges in, he's going to deal 5 dice, and every 4 is going to be a mortal wound. So on average, he's going to cause 2, maybe 3 mortal wounds when he charges.
Now here's the sneaky little trick. You don't want to charge a big unit first. You want to charge a small unit, which because your opponent's not going to pull away things in engagement range and let you charge again. You're going to have to force it by killing the unit with the charge, and then I'm going to charge again because I'm not in the unit's dead.
And I know people don't like when I say the combo I'm about to say, but I actually am really enjoying this combo. I'm using proper killing on him, and then I'm putting the Iron Gob on him, which most people hate. And I understand why they hate it. But on this guy, if you have the CP available for it, I like it. Because the proper killing is going to give him an extra attack, and it's going to make his big chop at AP2, and it's going to make his squig AP2 as well. So suddenly he's going to have like 7 AP2 damage 2 attacks coming out, exploding on 6s and Goffs. And then with the Iron Gob, when he's done attacking, he deals on a 2-up an extra D3 mortal wounds. So he charges in, deals 5d6 every 4 ups of mortal wounds, so anywhere between 2 and 3 mortal wounds on average. He does his 7 attacks for 2 damage each, AP2, and then he's got an extra D3 mortal wounds that's popping out. This dude can actually put out a lot of mortal wounds. And the fact that we have the ability to do damage in the charge phase really helps with phase caps. So I think he's got a huge amount of utility, and he's not that expensive. He's 65 points. And if you're running Squiggosaur Boyz, he's even free. You don't even have to spend any forced organization on him, which is super nice in Arks of Omen.
Yeah, he's really great. Main problem is basically being fast tech, but if you have Squiggosaur Boyz, he's no slot.
Right.
But so you're probably only taking him if you're running Squiggogs, yeah.
I agree with you. So I love him. I love him. Okay, so then we're going to go on to Warbikers. And we could wrap Warbikers and Nobz on Warbikes into the same slot, I guess.
Yeah.
They're just...
Yeah, they're casual.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean...
Top of C.
Yeah.
Just because they can move block with 20-inch movement, yeah.
I know Sean Naden took him to LVO at the end for the end of Nephilim. And everyone's like, oh, look, they're really good. It's like, no, Sean Naden's really good.
Yes.
The Warbikers are not really good. I'm not saying they're unusable, but they're just not good, man, because their guns are not assault. So if you use their huge range on the wall turn, they're not going to shoot any of their guns. They're expensive. They're hard to move because they're bikers and they can't, move through buildings and stuff. I can see some utility in them. I think their use is mainly in the general that's using them, not in them themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Shock jump dragster. I like this guy. What do you think?
I would say just behind the scrapjet, and that's just because he can teleport for behind enemy lines.
He's got awesome utility, actually, and he's the only model in our army that has actual reliable shooting, because he's going to be hitting on 3s. If you were a madman and you were running a freebooter's, you can just get this guy hitting on 2s.
Yeah. It will be -1 to hit when he advances.
Yeah.
It's sadly just a 4-up. I remember back in 8th edition, he had a custom job to auto-advance and teleport.
Ooh, that's cool.
And that was so good. But now being a 4-up, it's like, if it was an auto-advance, I would take him pretty much every game.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I currently run a 5-man of Stormboyz for behind enemy lines easily.
Yep.
And this guy would take their slot because he could get behind enemy lines reliably and then just shoot as well.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, actually. I think he's cool. I think he can be used. I'm not using him. But if I see him in a list, my initial thought isn't, oh, this sucks. So, yeah. Then we have the Boyz that made people rage quit probably more than any other unit in the entire game in Nachmund, right?
Yeah, I might have printed quite a few of these.
You dirtbag. You mean you printed them by purchasing them off the shelves of GW stores, right?
I purchased something, but what?
All right, these are the squig buggies, guys. Cooper, you probably have a lot more experience with these. Why don't you tell people about this one?
So these guys are like our mortars. They have 2 weapons that are indirect fire. That means you can ignore line of sight. And one is 36 inches, 2d6 shots, strength 5, -2, and damage 2. And the other one is the same, but it's d6 shots, half the range. And you can give this guy a custom job for +1 to wound with the 2d6 shots. And he actually went down in points to 95, so he's not bad. He's got some good melee as well with these saw blades. So that will be extra +2 strength, -2, and damage 2 for during Wog, strength 8 actually.
It's not bad.
And he's also got squig mines, which is once per turn in your movement at the end of movement phase. he can drop a squig mine on a vehicle unit within 6 inches and roll a d6 on a 3 to 5. It's d3 morals. On a 6, it's d6 morals.
And that's actually pretty rare, right? It's not common to have damage that you can do in movement phase.
Definitely. So it's good, but then again, it's fast attack. And that's going to be the theme of this video. It's fast attack.
It's fast attack. He is awesome. I love him. I think he's super cool. But what are you thinking?
I would say just between the shock jump and the scrapjet. Because he still shoots well and he fights okay.
And you know what? That damage in the movement phase that's a big deal, actually.
Yeah. It's only 2 vehicles, but it's still good. Like versus knights.
Yeah.
And the indirect fire is great versus a lot of people who hide like a little 5-man unit to hold the DC objective.
Absolutely.
It's not bad, but it's not great either.
Yeah, totally, man. Then we move on into yet another fast attack, which, guys, if you're seeing a theme, a lot of these fast attack I want to rate higher, but the problem is they're fast attacks. So they're competing. These are the Squigghog boys. I like the Squigghog boys. I think they're high in B.
Let's see. Yeah, they're pretty... I would put them low A, like the bottom of A tier.
You could go all the way to the bottom of A. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I keep seeing lists with 3x3 Squighogs. It's still 25 points that hits hard.
They hit hard.
They have such a weird profile. T6 3 wounds and a shit save.
Hey, it's a 4-up. It's amazing for orcs.
Oh yeah. But in terms of the weapons available in the game,
yeah, I'm with you.
Not too many that's that effective against it. Like those with high strength are usually high AP, and then combine that with high damage. It's usually not it's like the anti-tank, like the anti-badrukk options.
Yep.
And it's a cheap model. I can't believe it's still 25.
And you can grab a squig bomb on them, so it's 80 points per unit with a squig. I like them, man. I think they're good. I think there's a lot of value in them. They're hard to use, right? Because since they're cavalry and their bases are fairly big, taking a bunch of them is pretty difficult because then maneuvering on the battlefield can get really tricky.
You're never taking a 6-man, and that's
no. Leadership.
Lost is a thing. Leadership is a thing. I don't care about that. It's the coherency. Yep. Moving at 6-man is a nightmare.
Yeah, guys, these are for 3-mans. Maybe in some mystical land, if you have the points, you can take them in a 4-man. But
I'd say 4 is pretty good still.
You like 4?
I like 4. I was the guy who ran 3 units of 5 in every list in Nephilim, and that's not possible anymore.
No, definitely not.
But they're so cheap that 3x4 is still pretty good.
Right. All right. Then we're moving on to a staple S tier, guys. These are the Storm Boys. They're going straight to S. We know it.
Every single list.
I don't run Storm Boys the way like Cooper runs them, but I still run them. They're freaking awesome. Some people like to just take 3 units of 10 of these guys with a power claw on the knob. That's 330 points, and they're like, you know what? These guys are going to go fast. They're going to smash. They're going to get me behind enemy lines. They're going to clear screens. And that is a perfectly viable approach. If you put these guys in your battle wagons, because you can have 10 of these inside a battle wagon because each one takes up 2 slots, when they they can get a 21-inch movement out of that because they get 3 inches out of the battle wagon. They auto-advance 6, so they move 18. So it's a 21-inch threat range and then charge. With Here We Go, because all orcs will reroll charges, these guys are fast and they hit hard. I'm taking them. I take one slightly larger unit, so like a 7-man with a power claw on the knob, and then I'm running one 5-man, and then I also have a unit of Squighogs in my army that I think I'm really happy with right now. I don't see any army without Storm Boys.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, your stream, you should zoom out a little. You can't see the S tier.
Oh no, sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. So.
Oh, hey, thanks, Mirky D. Appreciate you letting us know that in the chat, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he was on top of it. He's letting me know. Thanks, buddy. I think I got excited and with my hand gestures and I hit something.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, yeah. So they're definitely S tier, yeah. And I'd say just above the... No, okay, no, that's fine, I guess, yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Stormboyz, cool. Now we're going to go on to battle wagons.
Uh,
This first one. I'm sorry. Did you have something else to say?
No, I'm just trying to figure out if it's the bandwagon, because this is so dumb. The images of the gunwagon, batwagon, and bonebreaker are.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's do this. Let's go with Let's just call this the battle wagon. Okay.
Yeah, because
this is the battle wagon.
Yeah, that's called the battle wagon for this case.
Yep.
And that's an S tier.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's an amazing. It's one of the best transports in the entire game. You want to tell us why?
Because it's cheap. 105 points, 105 gives you 16 wounds at T7, free up save, and ramshackle.
Marvelous.
And that's 20 transport slots. And for 15 points, you can suddenly make him kill in melee because he gets a death roller. And that thing always hits on 2+, always. Or it gets a weapon skill 2+ always, and it's so good because suddenly that's things -2 and damage 2, and let's see, the strength some additional strength, and mind you, the wagon is strength 8 base.
Yeah. He's awesome. With the death roller, especially in Goss, he gets super killy, and I like running with the Fortress on Wheels to give him the 5 invuln at all times. Some people argue about that. I don't think there's really any point in giving him the hard case to take him to T8.
There used to be, but right now with how the meta is, it's if they shoot it, it's gonna die. The T8 will rarely save him anyways.
Yep, I'm with you on that one. So yeah, I think it is. There is a trap with the battle wagons and all of our transports in general, because with our transports, it's easy to put more points into them than you need to. Most of the time, our transports, you want to keep them cheaper, especially when we get to the truck. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But you don't ever need the Wrecking Ball. You don't ever need the Grab a Claw, even though they're cool. Just competitively, you don't need them. So yeah, let's grab. So that'll be him, and he can also have a Death Roller, and he's awesome. Then we'll put in the Bonebreaker. I like the Bonebreaker. I want to run him. I just can't justify it. Not when I can take a battle wagon for cheaper that does the exact same thing.
Yeah, if you look points per output, it's actually better for a wagon. The only thing the Bonebreaker has is an additional D6 attacks, which makes it more reliable when it's bracketed. Problem being, it's 160 points, and it's just 12 transport slots.
And realistically, you could take a battle wagon with Ard Case and Fortress on Wheel and the Death Roller for what is that, 150?
That would be 150.
Yeah.
No, it would be 145.
So the battle wagon with all the benefits of the Bonebreaker, except for the extra D6 attacks, is going to be 15 points cheaper, and he has a 5 invuln. So it's like, I just don't see the point in him. So I'm going to throw him into casual, maybe.
Yeah, because if you take art cover in Death Roll and Wagon, he's 135, which means you're paying 25 points for getting D6 more attacks on Bonebreaker and also giving yourself 8 less transport slots.
Yeah, it's not a good choice. So I'm putting him at the very bottom of casual.
He still hits. It's just he's worse in the wagon. He's still good.
Yeah, so so you're not going to ever take him in anything competitive because you can do it better with a cheaper wagon.
Yeah, but he still has the point of he's being more consistent with the amount of attacks when bracketed. I put him behind the buggies in beater, honestly. I wouldn't run him.
Is this where I challenge you? Let's see. Now this isn't it. I'm saving it for something. I know what I'm saving it for. All right, we'll do it. We'll put him at the bottom of B.
Yeah, it's just he still hits well. He's still rather cheap, and yeah.
Def Dread.
Oh, okay. So this one's a doozy.
This is a doozy.
Because our Discord is very much into the Kilocan camp, and lately I've been in the Polish server quite a bit and discussing things there. They love the Death Thread, and I've been starting to look into it more. And I'm gonna try it and see the difference. So the main point is T7, so it's a bit tougher. And for me, it would be the behind the lines play. It's way easier to get 160mm base inside their deployment zone than 5 with the kilocans.
Yep, that's true.
And then he gets culture, hits on 3+, so he does rather well. And
if you take all claws on him, you get him to what, like 7 attacks, exploding 6s and Goths?
8 attacks with Wog, yeah.
8 attacks, nice. And then if you have a Nob with waaghbanner anywhere nearby, he's hitting on 2s. It's actually really nice.
And you don't even need that. He has Irrigo as well, so you don't need to pay a CP for the reroll like Kent.
They've definitely got value. But I do, yeah, they've got value. I haven't played with them very much, and you haven't yet, right?
No, I actually just glued up based on top of my. I have a Death Dread, old metal Death Dread that I received in
Metal Dread, Mecha Dread.
Oh no, just the thing I'm putting in a sock, and if I have a rule dispute with someone,
he's basically a Godzilla villain.
Yeah, I'm gonna start trying him out. But he has played. It's basically if you prefer the Kill Can or Death Dread way, they both operate pretty much the same.
Sure.
I'm gonna say this is like middle of A tier.
Cool, I can do that. Middle of A. I don't think I've got any complaints about that. Flash kits, guys. These are flash kits, so they're going straight to. We all love them. We want them to be good. The 2 CP strat to shoot again is very cool, but the reality of the situation, guys. These guys, I don't know how to fix them. Like, I don't know how to make them better without making them overpowered. And then
they try to make it cheaper to 20 points a model. You're paying a lot for having 2 wounds that you don't care about. But it's really counterintuitive with the stratagem, because a stratagem that lets you shoot again is really good.
Yeah.
But you can't be embarked and use stratagems.
Right. So they can't be in a transport and do it, which means they have to be on the ground.
Yeah,
and they're heavy 3, so they're going to be hitting you on Blitzkill 4, so hitting on 5s. Like,
I mean, if the Amarant was reroll all hits, sure, but now it's 1 die.
Yeah, if you guys didn't hear what Coop just says, let me explain something to you. They have an upgrade called the Armour Rut, which is the dumbest upgrade in the entire freaking game. 5 points, and once per game, you can use this Ammo Rut to re-roll the hit rolls. What people hear when they read that is they hear re-roll the hit rolls. That's not what it says. It says re-roll the hit roll, which means one shot from one of your flash kits gets to spend 5 points to re-roll 1 hit roll, which is going to be hitting on a 5.
Yeah. And Thursday is just when the bearer makes a ranged attack. That's the key part, because you make attacks 1 by 1. You just use the fast roll rule because save time. But this is just when you make that 1 attack, you can use the Amarant. It's so dumb.
It's so bad. It's so bad. These guys suck. Yeah, they suck. Sorry. Maybe next edition, guys.
If I could use stratagems while embarked, I would probably try to run them in a squig off. I would put squig off in reserve, get the squig off in, shoot twice from because then I ignore the -1 as well because of the squig off. But it's just no.
we have Midnight coming in with saying no way Megaboss is in S. This disappointment belongs in A. Well, my man, I'm gonna require you, or I'm gonna ask you to please go listen to our argument, because this dude slots into literally any army. I'm not gonna go through it all again right now, but if you just scroll back to the beginning, I think we made a pretty good argument. But if you're saying he belongs in A, I don't think you're making a stupid statement. It's not dumb. I just disagree with you.
Yeah, it's just he's versatile. He hits hard.
So versatile.
You don't even need to upgrade him offensively to make him hit hard. Having that AOP -3 is a really good breakpoint.
I do think he's definitely better in the Death Skulls than in the Goths. So I could, if this was a Goth exclusive list, I would agree with you in A and put him in the A for sure. But just since it's not Goths exclusive, I think we're going to leave him in S for now.
Yeah, having a 1+ save obsec model that hits hard in Death Skulls,
really nice. All right, so moving on, I think this is a gun wagon.
Yeah, let's call it a gun wagon.
Call it a gun wagon, even if it's not. It is, which means it is a what? Cooper, go ahead and say it.
It's a flash kit.
It is a flash kit. If you guys, oh my gosh, it's so bad.
Yeah, it's for the base cost. This is before you add additional weapons. This is just with a single cannon.
So bad.
And for you who do not know, a single cannon is you choose between 2 options, and that would be the D6 shots of strength 5, no AP, 1 damage, or
strength
1
5.
shot of
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah, with no AP.
With no AP.
It's D6 big shooter shots, and then 1 shot with strength 8, -2 D6 damage.
Like, who designed this thing?
It's 150.
What is that? Like,
so bad. I can't. And then if you want the, I think the Zap gun is actually free. My bad. still not making it good. It's still shit.
It's terrifying. It's terrifyingly bad. All right, moving on. We have a hunter rig. Hunter rig is cool. The problem with the hunter rig is that we have a kill rig also. Yeah. So he drops right down into casual. I can't put him into flash kits because he actually is a pretty good model. He's just completely irrelevant.
Yes. It's like, why don't I run a kill rig? He's good in melee, so casual option, yeah.
Speaking of which, we are moving into my second favorite model in the entire game. The first being the Beast Boss on squiggosaur. The second is the kill rig. I love the kill rig. I am running the kill rig all the time. People argue with me, but he's so freaking good. I'm so upset that I was a Custodes player during the age of the triple kill rig because I missed out on being able to run the triple kill rig.
I don't think that was a thing actually.
Oh yeah, it was definitely huge. I know the guys, the German WTC team was huge on popularizing a triple kill rig build, and it was all over the place, at least in the team circuit.
Teams, sure. In singles, I ran the double kill rig a lot. Cool. Now he's good.
Yep.
Not as good. I see some people trying the triple rig still. I think one is enough.
So I've done so let me just break this guy down for everyone real fast because I always run him with squig high tires. I think if you don't, you're a lunatic. Spend 15 points, he gets an extra blip of movement and an extra 2 to his advance. This gives this guy a 21-inch advance. And then if you're in the wah, he charges, which gives him a 33-inch threat range. And since he's a vehicle, and a character, he gets to advance and charge because he gets the benefit from the advance and charge part of the wall since he's a character. And since he's a vehicle, for 2 CP, he can ram and speed for a 3d6 charge. Add a pylon and consolidate. This theoretical movement for this guy is something ridiculous, like 43 inches or something like that. Now, will he ever move that far? No. But it is enough movement to navigate his massive base across the terrain, which I think is essential. He also is the only decent, well, not the only, but he's actually pretty decent shooting for the orcs. He's a character, so he can fight on death, which you probably won't ever use. But his psychic powers are so freaking good, and he single-handedly made me not even include the Weirdboy on this list, which I definitely should have, and I just realized I missed. But his psychic power for Frazzle, he's going to hit everything within 9 inches. Every enemy within 9 inches for D3 mortal wounds at a 4-up. And since his base is so freaking knight-sized massive, I've hit 8 units with this before. He's so good. And then Squiggly Curse is a great spell. He's just awesome. I love this guy. He transports my beast snaggas. I'm putting him in the A tier for sure.
Yeah, definitely not S tier because
no, he's not S. Yeah,
he comes with some disadvantage. But
he does.
Yeah, top of A tier, I would say. Yeah. That's behind the squig boss probably.
Even fine. Yeah, I'm totally happy to do that. So he, for my list, he slots in amazingly, but there is a reason not to take him. So I definitely could never put him into S tier. Then we move on to something which is 100% going to S tier. These guys have some of the best points per kill ratio in the entire game. I'm talking about Deffkilla.
The shake, the bake, the terminate.
Hey Cooper, I know that you were vehemently opposed to rockets on our cons. How do you feel about that now?
I've 180'd. So the thing with rockets before is a rocket can cost you, let's see, because before a kilocan was 35 points and rockets were 15, which means that was 50 points for a rocket can, and that's way too expensive.
Yep.
Now the rockets are 10 points and the kilocans are 30, which means 40 points. And that's actually pretty decent. And because that's, let's see, what is it? It's 20% cheaper, which is massive.
Yes.
So 5 of these guys in reserve or teleporter for 200 points. You bring them in, they shoot 5d3 rockets, and if you shoot at 6+ Terminators, that's 15 shots. That's blast. And that's still healing on force with rockets. Strength 8, -2, damage 3. It's pretty good. And then you ramming speed into melee. You might have to spend the extra CP because they do not have here we go. Yeah. But they kill what they touch. They are running in 5 of them with 25 attacks, hitting on force, strength
9.
Let's see, 9, yeah. And -3 and damage 3. It's so strong.
I had these guys show up and wipe a 10 mana Terminators in my tournament because what I did is I was running Gaz with them, so they had the AP3 rockets.
Yeah,
which was
these,
huge.
These guys are 3 attack space, 1 for Wog, and when they are 3 or more models,
Not 4.
yeah, we had this yesterday. But yeah, they get 1 more attack. So it's such good value.
Oh, they're
and
amazing.
Compared to the Death Dread might kill something and will score Binding Lines a little easier. These guys will kill something and might score Binding Lines. So it's kind of a way off. And then they give you more bring it down points to give up, which is another reason, but that depends on how many characters you already run. So.
Sure. And for me, I'm running max characters anyway, so I don't care about bringing down points. So screw it, I'm taking them.
My style is less characters, so this is why I'm thinking of trying the Death Dread to bring down count, and because my cost right now is 3 characters, and that's 10 assassination, and I don't want to give up 13 bring it down points. If I could lower that to 9, then I might have something, yeah.
But I know we've got a spreadsheet, which maybe we can link in the chat here. And
you guys,
it goes like points per ratio. Killicons, a unit of 5 of them with rockets in the WA, kills a Hecaton land fortress, which is shocking.
They do a lot of damage, yeah.
That is shocking, because that is a 200-point unit killing a 310-point unit in an activation.
No, they are also T5, which is...
Yeah,
but they are ramshackle, and they have 5 wounds per model.
5 wounds.
That's a lot.
With an armor save of 3 up. Yeah. Their leadership sucks, but you know what? I can live with that. They are crazy amazing, and any army would be happy to use them. Not every army will use them, but any army can use them. Like, they can easily slot into any build.
Yeah, they are really good.
All right, going on to Lunas. I don't really use them. I don't have much experience with them. I know they look cool, and if I was running a squiggoth, I would take them, but I'm not. So,
you don't even need a squiggoth. They are Dekka.
Oh, that's true. They are Dekka, are they? Yeah.
I would say they were heavy in 8th edition, but I would put them in low B tier.
Yeah, tell people about the Ludos, because I'm gonna shut up on this one.
So they are Dekka 3/2 with 48 inches range, I believe. So pretty much always 3 shots, which is a big upgrade from 8th edition. They are strength 7, hitting on 5s, of course.
Cool.
Strength 7, -1, damage 2. But -1 did kill them a lot with armor contempt, and they removed it now. And Ludas also do good bits like rots instantly. Problem being, you just take rots.
Grots are gonna do it.
And if you do the action, you have no way of action and shooting orcs, unfortunately. So yeah, no, they just suffer from that. They're 14 points a model, I believe.
Yeah, they're not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not good. It's
yeah,
it's B. Yeah,
I think they're almost a perfect explanation of what a B tier unit should be.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So we'll move on. This is a mech gun.
So the mech gun is quite interesting. There are 4 profiles. You are only going to care about one of them, and that would be the custom mega cannon.
Sure.
Because mathematically, it's the best among of those options. It's D6. If you guys know Necrons, this is a Doomsday Arc, but at like a third of the price. So it's 45 points. It gives you D6 shots at strength 8, -3, and D6 damage.
Yep.
Might hurt you a little if you roll ones to hit, but it's fine.
Its main benefit, I think, is it can be taken as a single unit, and it's cheap, and it has long range. So you can pop this conceivably in your back lines and just let it sit there all game and screen out deep strikers and be kind of useful. So it has use.
Yeah, but it's taking up a heavy slot, and you never run more than 1 per unit.
Right.
Because these guys are leadership 4, which means if you have a 3-man unit and 1 dies, you have a 50% chance of another one running. And if that one runs, the third one has a 33% chance of running. It's just no.
Yeah. They're cool. They have a use. I don't run them, but they definitely have a use. All right, this one is a Burnajet, I believe.
Let's see. It looks like so. Yeah, so that's the Burnabama.
Burnabama.
I think we can slot both of the bombers together because they're kind of similar in usefulness right now.
Sure.
Which is not a lot, because right now you have to start them in reserve, and then you don't fly models, you can't drop bombs. These guys are flash kits right now.
Yeah, I would definitely put them. Now the question is about the Waz bomb. The Waz bomb I would kind of make an argument with. I'm not going to put him in flash kits, and here's why.
No, he's not a bomber.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, the other bomber. You're right. Sorry.
The Blitzer bomber and the bomber.
Oh yeah, cool. Then I jumped the gun. Forgive me. Sorry. Yeah. And then we have a Dakajet. I'm gonna throw him casual. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I think we're 100% agreed on that. He actually is cool. He can get what is it like? He's got like 42 shots. You would give him the more Daka upgrade for like a theoretical 50 something shots.
So that's with a speed wog, because he has 6. I think it's 4. You can take 6 shooters. Daka has 6/4, so that will be 36 shots. Yeah.
Yep.
Strength 6 -1, damage 1, and speed wog would make it 42 shots. You don't run Speedwog right now.
Yeah, that's why I throw him the casual. You could, especially if you're running that hybrid like I did for my RTTU with Gaz. You wouldn't throw this guy in a top competitive, but in like a middle competitive, like your local RTTs, you could run a Dakajet and you could probably do pretty well with him. Because if Gaz calls the wah, suddenly he's got 42 shots, and then you're going to take the more Daka upgrade for a potential extra maximum like 12 extra shots, and then you're also going to be having AP2 on the super shooters. Dude can actually put some output there, and it's actually kind of dangerous for some people.
It's clearing like some utility squads doing actions or something.
And he's cheap. He's not expensive.
It's 100 points, 120 because you take the shooters.
That's just true. Yeah.
But the Waz bomb.
Yeah, the Waz bomb.
This guy is the Russian roulette of shooting.
That's a hilarious and accurate way of putting him.
So what this guy does is you take the teleporter blastas, and that means those weapons shoot on 2d6 shots, and which is random.
Yep.
But it's also 2 individual guns. So you roll 1d6, and if you don't like it, use the CP reroll. So it's not 2d6 shots with 1 weapon; it's d6 with 2 weapons. But strength 9 -2, damage d3 +3, hitting on force, and then he has a little smasher gun as well, which is nice.
Sure.
You take the super shooters. It's just the Russian roulette thing. I agree on the B tier. I was just about to say behind the mech.
I mean, listen, strength 9, AP2, D3 +3 damage, and it's blast. It's pretty good. Those teleport Megablasters are not bad.
It's just the Russian roulette. Some games, anyone who's played them, they know some games he wipes whatever he shoots. Some games he touches an ant.
He does have a 4 ballistic skill. And I don't think the flyer nerf is quite as terrible as most people think it is. Because half games, you're trying to pick most of your armies who are bringing flyers are going to try to be bringing these guys in strategic reserve when they go second anyway.
Yeah, the flyer reserve was hard on the bomber units.
Definitely. Exactly. It made the bomber units kind of terrible. But for all the other ones like the Waz bomb, I don't think it really made that much of a difference for him. I think he's still good. I think he still has a place. If you were a mad lad and decided that freebooters is the way you're going to go, you're going to love this guy.
Oh, definitely. It's just not consistent enough for the top tournaments, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree. So then we move on to the truck. How do we run the truck?
Oh, this guy is...
I put him A.
Nah, this guy's an S tier for
sure. You put him S tier. You take him in every list.
Pretty much, yeah. Because he's a really cheap transport, and you're gonna take truck boys in almost any list, either as 10 boys or as 10 Nobz, and then it's just a cheap transport. You can even put, I've seen a lot of Polish guys do this, take a truck and put 10 orbital gits inside for the obstacle mods.
Yep.
I think he fits in every single list, and he's really good in every single list he's in.
He can be used for deep strike denial. He's fast. He can transport. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And you can put the specialist units in him. Yep. Cool.
It's just, he's going to be in every list, and you're going to see in pretty much every list.
Cool. So this is going to be both the Gargantuan and the normal squig. This thing sucks, but it's awesome.
So Gargantuan will be flash kit, and the squig off will be in casual, most likely, because the squig off 18 wounds sucks with no obscuring.
Yep.
But it has decent melee, decent shooting, and it can
it does not have decent melee. It's got 4 attacks.
Let's see, what is it?
It does not have decent melee.
I believe it was something. Let's see.
I would say it technically has melee, but I would not call it decent melee.
5 attacks during Wog at strength 9, -3, d6. Oh, strength 10 because Goths. Exponent 6s, -3, d6 damage. Oh, yeah, it's d6, it's not d3. Oh, never mind,
Yeah.
In my head, it was d3 + 3.
Yeah, you were thinking something that it should be.
Yeah.
But not what it is.
But yeah, no, they're going to be flash kits. Not having obscuring is really bad as well.
They have an awesome rule, which you really want to use because it is awesome. It's called the Howdah, which means embarked units count as remaining stationary when that thing moves.
And they can shoot within engagement range.
Which is such an amazing thing. But the reality of the situation is it doesn't matter for orcs.
It's not going to be good.
No, it's just not, sadly. Then is this the kill cannon? The kill cannon here?
That looks like the kill tanks, both of them, but with different weapons. The first one's a Giga Shootout, and then one's a Burst Cannon.
Oh, that's what I did. Yep. Sorry. So let's call this one the Deffkilla Roller Fortress or whatever it's called.
Oh god. Okay. So kill tank should be in casual because it's still rather tough for cheap points.
If you run freebooters, whatever, but it's actually already +1 to hit, isn't it? So never mind, you don't even need that.
Within half range, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still 24 T8 wounds with 3 up. Doesn't have ramshackle. That doesn't really matter. But still, if you take the Giga Shooter, it's 275 points.
Sure.
And and if we do this is probably going to be fast. The fortress thing, if we make that, it's going to be flash kit.
Yep. Boom.
The 2 knots will be in casual because there's a play with reserve ramming speed with him.
Yeah, actually, you made that thought. You brought that up with the Gorkanaut thing. Actually, I really enjoyed that concept, and I actually would like to try it. So, you want to explain to people?
So you put it in free reserve, and you bring it in. You use its shooting to get some chaff or small things out, and you charge 3d6. And the Gorkanaut has pretty okay melee. It's flat 6 damage with the
Fisted possibly
Thrush profile.
Yeah.
That's strength 16 -4 and flat 6 damage. And the smash, which is the sweep, is strength 8, 10 in Goths during charge and Wog with -2 and 2 damage, but it's 3 hits for each attack, so that will be 18 attacks.
Yeah, which is awesome in Goths because just exploding 6s. I think you're right. I think there's a play with it, and since it's still too expensive though. I mean, realistically, put that thing at 250, we could really seriously talk.
Oh god, I would take it, yeah.
But still at 315, I think it's still too expensive. But I think that it's possible to play it now at least.
It's 330.
Oh, 330. That's right. The Morkanaut is all right, super casual, but I understand why they exist. So they're not flash kits.
Yeah.
They
have some play, but
we're almost done, guys. We have to place a Stompa now, and people want the Stompa to be really good. The problem with it is it's not.
It's a flash. Yeah, I ran it in a casual 2-2 tournament a while back for fun because I've printed a huge, amazing. Shout out to what Gearguts. He makes amazing 3D models. I printed his. I think it's McDaddy or something it's called.
Oh, Gearguts Workshop or something like that?
Yeah. It's an amazing model that I printed, and I played it because I never get to play it. I played it in 8th edition when it actually was good. And I bit the 9th before we got the Codex because he had an Evil Sons play. Right now, it's bad. It's really, really bad.
It's just not, yeah.
So what I found out in the 2-2 tournament, 2 games. First game we played against, I was teamed up with a Demons player. And this was a casual fun event, and we played versus Blood Angels and Guard. So it actually popped 1 tank and cleared out like 20 infantry from Guard, and then the Blood Angels charged 10 Sangard and put let's just say my Snobbat did survive with 2 wounds remaining.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, and then we played the next game versus the 2 guys who actually didn't want to play casual and just wanted to win the prize, and teamed up Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights, and we surrendered after turn 1.
Yeah, I definitely think I understand that.
Yeah, it was boring. Our list was, I had a Mega Dread, I had a Stompa, and a Warboss. He had a great unclean one, and we just lost everything turn 1 versus Knights because we went second.
Yep, I can see that.
We just packed up and just bought a kit and started painting or gluing a new kit together.
And then the last two things that we have to talk about are our fortifications.
Oh god, no, that's...
Yeah. We got the mech workshop, which is just a nightmare. And then we have the boss head bunker, which I want to use because I feel like it's possible, but it's definitely not good. And I'm not going to argue about trying to get it outside of flash kits.
No, it's going to be flash kits on both of those.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
So we haven't placed out the bike boss, but the bike boss will be in S tier because
I put him A, and I'm going to argue with that because he's just like the squig boss. Yeah, he's the exact same thing as a squig boss. He's awesome. He's incredible. There's a lot of play with him. But the reality of the situation is he doesn't slot into every list. You don't need that death missile in every list.
I wouldn't say it's good in every list, but
a beast boss is good in every single list too, but he's not. He doesn't really. He's not really worth it in every list.
I would say top of A tier in that case.
Yeah, I put him right next to the squig boss for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't have an image for him right here, sadly.
It's still good. I think this is quite an accurate representation of the state right now for units.
I think this went really well. Yeah, this was awesome. Guys, if you enjoyed this, please hit a little comment in, like, subscribe. Ask some questions for us, and we can absolutely come on here again, and we can maybe do either a shorter or even a longer presentation on any of these unit breakdowns for you guys. Cooper is a wealth of knowledge, and we're really, really grateful to have him along with us as we are going through the journey of learning how to crump. Coop, man, thanks for your advice and your help being on here. Do you have any parting comments?
Yeah, thanks for having me. And if any of you guys have more questions, please join the Orc Discord. We're pretty active over there, and we do enjoy to help people out. We have a bunch of channels depending on which level of player you got. If you're new, if you're casual, if you're competitive, or if you're learning competitive, there's a place for everyone over there, and we definitely want to learn together.
That's it, man. That's awesome. Everyone, thanks so much for your freaking attention. We love and appreciate you. You can follow me on Twitch at Johnny the Sand as well. I do very regularly live stream battle reports, and I absolutely use those as teaching experiences where I can help people learn more tactics. Cooper's been on there with me a few times. As a matter of fact, last night he was helping me get ready for a team tournament I'm in. So anyway, thanks so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Happy crumpin', Wargamers. Bye-bye.